Let's talk about something we don't talk about enough: gas. If you're a woman over 60 and feeling like you're tooting more often than before, guess what? You're definitely not alone. But here's the thing. Many of us are unknowingly making the same 6 everyday mistakes that mess with our digestion. And yes, most of the time we have no idea we're doing it. As a senior doctor and a woman who's been there myself, I know how frustrating and even embarrassing this can be. That's why I'm sharing some straight-up truth, a dash of humor, and a whole lot of real talk. Stick around until the end, because mistake number 6 might just shock you. It's one nearly every older woman makes, whether you think you do or not. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which food you think is to blame for your gas lately. Let's break the silence together, one fart joke at a time. Mistake number 1. You're eating too fast, especially when you're alone. Let's jump into mistake number 1, a biggie that almost nobody talks about: eating too fast, especially when you're dining solo. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the big deal? If it's just you, your plate, and the 6 o'clock news, who cares how fast you scarf down dinner, right? But here's the thing. This innocent-seeming habit might actually be one of the biggest gas culprits you're facing. When you eat quickly, you're not just rushing through your meal, you're also swallowing extra air with every bite. It's called aerophagia, which basically means air eating. And yes, it's as unglamorous as it sounds. That swallowed air doesn't just disappear, it heads straight to your digestive system, where it swirls around, builds pressure, and eventually makes its grand exit. Often at the most inconvenient moments, like during yoga class or in a quiet elevator. Now, here's why this hits us older women especially hard. We've got a double whammy. First, many of us aren't chewing as thoroughly as we used to, whether it's because of dental issues, dentures, or just plain jaw fatigue. We tend to take bigger bites and chew less. And second, we often eat while multitasking, scrolling on our phones, flipping through the newspaper, or zoning out in front of the TV. All that distraction speeds up our eating without us even realizing it. Before you know it, lunch is gone in 7 minutes flat, and your stomach looks like you just swallowed a beach ball. So, here's a simple trick I share with my patients. Pretend you're dining with the queen. Yes, really. Sit up straight, put your fork down between bites. Chew each mouthful at least 20 times. I know, it sounds like a lot, but try it. Even if you're flying solo, make your meal feel like an occasion. Light a candle, play some soft music, be present, create a little ritual out of it. Because when you slow down and savor your food, something magical happens. Your gut can actually keep up. Digestion starts in the mouth, not the stomach. And when you give your body the time it needs, you'll likely notice less bloating, fewer burps, and way fewer awkward moments. Mistake number 2, drinking soda, sparkling water, or fizzy drinks daily. Let's talk about something that bubbles under the surface: carbonated drinks. You know the ones: soda, sparkling water, tonic, maybe even fizzy kombucha. They're refreshing. They give you that little afternoon pop. But here's the not-so-fizzy truth. For women over 60, these drinks can be a sneaky gas trap. Here's how it works. Carbonated beverages contain, you guessed it, carbon dioxide gas. And when you drink them, that gas doesn't vanish. It goes straight into your stomach and starts to build up. Some of it escapes in a burp, usually at the most awkward time, but the rest travels down into your intestines, where it expands, irritates, and eventually makes its exit. Yes, you know where this is going. Now, I'll be blunt. Our digestive systems change as we age. The enzymes and acids that used to sussel gas out quickly start to slow down. That means what might have been a harmless fizz in your 20s could now feel like a full-blown gas explosion in your 70s. And I know what some of you are thinking, but I've had a Diet Coke since Nixon was president. That may be true, but your body isn't the same as it was back then. What once gave you pep may now be giving you pressure. So here's my suggestion. Swap the fizz for something soothing. Try herbal teas like peppermint, chamomile, or ginger. They're naturally calming, support digestion, and help reduce bloating without all the bubbles. Remember, your gut is not a soda stream. Give it a break from the sparkle, and your pants will thank you. Mistake number 3. Adding high-fiber foods too quickly without adjusting slowly. All right, let's talk about a healthy mistake. Adding too much fiber too fast. Yes, fiber is amazing. It's great for your heart, your blood sugar, and yes, even your bowels. But if you suddenly go from toast and tea to lentils, whole grains, and raw broccoli overnight, well, your gut might just throw a party, and not the kind you want to attend. I see this all the time in my clinic. A patient comes in and says, "Doctor, I'm eating clean. I switched to bran cereal, added lentils to lunch, and I'm snacking on whole wheat bread. So why do I feel like I swallowed a balloon?" The answer? Your gut bacteria didn't get the memo. See, fiber isn't digested in your stomach. It heads straight to your colon where your gut microbes go to town fermenting it. And fermentation, that creates gas. A lot of it. If you've spent years on a low-fiber diet and suddenly jump to 30 grams a day, your gut microbiome throws a full-on tantrum, cramps, bloating, and yes, you guessed it, way more flatulence than before. But don't ditch fiber just yet. It's still your friend. You just need to introduce it slowly. Here's how to do it right. If you're adding lentils to lunch, start with half a portion. Trying high-fiber cereal, skip the beans that day. Every time you increase fiber, double your water intake. Otherwise, that fiber turns your intestines into a dry sponge. And trust me, that's a bad scene. Also, here's a pro tip. Cook your veggies. Steamed broccoli is far gentler on your system than raw. Same with carrots, spinach, and even cabbage. Cooking breaks down the fibers, so your gut has less work to do, which means less bloating, fewer surprises, and a much happier belly. Mistake number 4, ignoring new food sensitivities like dairy or wheat. All right, ladies, it's time for a little gut check, pun intended. Just because you used to handle milk, bread, and salad like a champ doesn't mean your digestive system still agrees with those foods. One of the most common but often overlooked issues in women over 60 is delayed onset food intolerance. That means your body might suddenly start reacting to foods you've eaten your whole life with symptoms like bloating, gas, cramping, or that 5 months pregnant after lunch feeling. So what gives? As we age, our digestive enzymes naturally decline, and that includes lactase, the enzyme that breaks down lactose, the sugar in milk. By your 60s or 70s, your lactase levels may be so low that even a splash of milk in your tea or a dollop of cream in your soup can send your intestines into full gas-producing mode. And it's not just dairy. The same thing happens with fructans found in wheat, onions, and garlic. Even healthy foods like apples, asparagus, or cauliflower can be the silent culprits behind your daily discomfort. The frustrating part? These intolerances don't always show up like allergies with hives or vomiting. No, they're sneaky little saboteurs. They create slow, subtle discomfort that most women just chalk up to aging. But here's the truth. It's not just aging. It's something you can actually do something about. So what can you do? Start with a simple food and symptom journal. For 1 week, write down everything you eat and how you feel within an hour or 2 after each meal. You'd be amazed how often a certain food keeps showing up before the gassiness begins. If dairy seems suspicious,
Try switching to lactose-free milk or plant-based options like almond or oat milk. If wheat feels off, test out a few days with low-gluten or gluten-free alternatives. Your body is wiser now. It's giving you signals. You just have to listen.
Mistake number 5, sitting still after meals instead of gentle movement. Let's talk about something that's surprisingly powerful and often the missing link when it comes to post-meal gas and bloating: movement. After eating, many of us seniors do what feels natural. We sit, we plop down on the couch, flip on the news, sip our tea, or maybe even recline back with a sigh of relief. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the problem. Digestion isn't just chemistry, it's also mechanics. Your intestines rely on movement to keep things flowing. Those gentle contractions that push food and gas through your digestive tract, called peristalsis, are actually stimulated by physical activity. When you sit or lie down immediately after eating, that process slows way down. Gas gets trapped, food sits longer than it should, and before you know it, you're bloated, burping, and unintentionally fumigating the living room. Now, I'm not saying you need to go run a marathon after dinner, but just 10 to 15 minutes of light movement can make a world of difference. A walk around the block, tidying the kitchen, watering the plants, all of it helps kickstart digestion and move gas through before it builds up. Even better, there's a yoga pose called the wind relieving pose. And yes, it does exactly what it sounds like. Lie on your back, hug one knee to your chest at a time, and gently twist. It's great for releasing trapped gas and calming your gut. The point is this: motion helps digestion, especially as we get older and things start to slow down internally. Make just this one change, adding a short post-meal walk, and you might be shocked how much better you feel within days. Mistake number 6, holding in gas for too long out of politeness. All right, ladies, it's time for the slightly awkward but oh so real finale: holding in your gas. Yes, I said it. Let's be honest, many of us still try to be ladylike long after we should stop worrying about who hears what. And in doing so, we're turning ourselves into human pressure cookers. Not cute, not comfortable, definitely not necessary. I get it. Nobody wants to be the one who lets one slip at the grocery store or during bingo night. We were raised to be polite, modest, and never make a scene. But here's the truth. Your gut doesn't care about etiquette, it cares about function. When you constantly suppress the urge to pass gas, you're messing with your body's natural rhythm. That trapped gas doesn't just disappear, it builds up, presses on your intestines, and causes bloating, discomfort, and that all too familiar tightness across your lower belly. And it gets worse. Chronic gas suppression can actually contribute to more serious issues like hemorrhoids, pelvic floor strain, or even worsen flare-ups of diverticulitis in women who already have it. Here's a little secret. Every senior woman passes gas. Some do it quietly in private, some do it proudly, and some suffer in silence because they're trying too hard to pretend it doesn't happen. Let me be crystal clear. Passing gas is normal. What's not normal is living in pain because you're trying to suppress something your body needs to do. So, how do you fix this? Create safe release zones. After meals, give yourself a few minutes in the bathroom or a private room. Make a habit of walking gently, massaging your belly in a clockwise motion, or sipping warm water with ginger to help ease gas out before it builds up. Because letting it out quietly and early is way better than waiting until it's loud, painful, or downright embarrassing. Final thoughts. Your gut deserves better. Let's recap what we've covered, because these 6 mistakes are sneaky, common, and completely reversible. You're eating too fast, especially when you're alone and swallowing air without realizing it. Carbonated drinks may sparkle, but they're filling your gut with unnecessary gas. Too much fiber, too fast, can shock your system and cause bloating and discomfort.
Food intolerances develop with age, and ignoring them means ignoring your body's signals. Not moving after meals slows digestion and traps gas where it shouldn't be. And finally, holding in gas might seem polite, but it's hurting more than helping. The good news? These aren't signs that something's wrong with you. They're signs that something can be adjusted, improved, and even reversed. Your digestive health matters, not just for comfort, but for overall well-being. And the best part? You don't need expensive treatments or complicated diets. Just a few mindful changes can make a world of difference. So go ahead, eat slower, drink smarter, move more, listen to your gut, and yes, let it go when you need to. Because being a woman over 60 doesn't mean you have to live bloated, uncomfortable, or embarrassed. It means you know better, you do better, and you feel better. Thanks for watching. And remember, you're not alone, and you're not weird. You're just wonderfully human.